The Ark back to the Nexus. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you.
Thank you again, Ryder. But I owe you an apology. I made a mistake.
Oh?
I shouldn't have called you to say goodbye. The choice you had to make. I put too much on your shoulders.
Since we're being honest, that was a hell of a position to be put in.
I'm sorry. As Pathfinders, we have to serve our own people, but also the greater good. It's a difficult job.
Though you made a tough choice yourself, bailing us out in the gun battery. How about we call it even?
I appreciate that. Whatever the case, the Solarian people are forever in your debt.
Earn this.
We will.
Drack.
Wasn't enough to save the whole Archon. Had to grab a few more Solarians on the way out.
Drack, it's...
Complicated, except it's not. Leaving my scouts behind was worse than killing them outright. And you're not the one who has to explain it to the rest of the clan.
It was a difficult choice, Ryder, but you won an important victory. The Archon has been dealt a blow. Your father would be proud.
It's been tough, trying to fill his shoes. I hope I'm finally starting to earn it. Though slapping the Archon in the face like this will only make him more dangerous.
Or perhaps reckless. Your father liked putting others off balance. He said the worthy would rise above it, and learn to face adversity ably.
And the unworthy?
Would crumble. I'll leave you to your thoughts.
With reverence, Archon, this fascination with Meridian cannot continue.
It's the key to our future, Primus. The human knows nothing of its true power.
Even we don't fully understand it. Our orders are to exalt this cluster, not study the remnant. Questions are being asked about your judgment. Questions that come from the highest levels.
The answers will be clear soon enough. With Meridian, we can transform every world in this cluster to a wasteland. Either the subjects submit to exaltation, or we will use it to annihilate them. This Pathfinder has opened the door. Now we must be the first to cross the threshold. We must seize Meridian before it does. Like all lesser creatures, it mistakes a battle for the war. It doesn't know its weakness. Or its potential.
The Archon saw my memory flashes? He got that from my implant?
His device went deep. Our connections were wide open when Sam killed you.
They'll know how much we need Meridian. We have to warn the Nexus. We have to move.
VidCon channels are ready, Pathfinder.
So is he gonna attack the Nexus now? Shit, Drack, he's pissed. I didn't do it to save the Solarian lackeys, I did it to save the Solarian Pathfinder. Let's go talk to Drack first. Not gonna talk to me, is he? Didn't take his loyalty away though, so maybe I'm still good in that aspect. Okay. Oh, this is the Turian arc.
Ryder, I was just about to call you.
Everything all right?
I've got numbers, coordinates, flashing in my head. I think it's an SOS from Mason.
It could be coming from your SAM implant.
He's sending me his location.
We did find evidence that Natanis may be intact.
What evidence?
A bunch of stasis pods were jettisoned from the Ark. No survivors. But the logs show it happened long after Natanis hit the Scourge.
Someone's still flying the damn thing.
Or keeping it afloat, at least.
Here are the coordinates for my implant. Meet me there. We'll find answers.
Still waiting on our visit to Aya. Useful, but also fun. Looking forward to it.
Just checking in. I wanted to ask about you.
What do you want to know?
I have to know about the car.
We'd wrench on it as a family. Mom suggested it, and Dad liked a happy mom. That's how I fell into mechanical stuff. Armor and jump jets. Mom wasn't a fan of the second part. You know how it is.
I worried my parents from time to time.
That's a kid's job. I probably crossed the line a few times, though. Like jumping a galaxy. That's why I have to make this work. If I don't, then Andromeda was a mistake. I said goodbye to too many people to let that happen.
Tell me about your friends in crisis response.
I swore I wouldn't tell anyone what they did. Stealing a shuttle for the car was above and beyond. Dondi, Base, Mazzy, Noel, Cap, and goddamn Hammond. The best people when buildings have fallen down. Eventually, I'll have to start a new branch here, you know? I promised.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Wonder if he'd still be pissed if we did bring him on that one.
I feel like things are finally going our way, for real. Getting the Solarians back, that's huge. I just wish we didn't have to sacrifice so many for it.
I was curious about you and Sid, being on your own from such a young age.
Yeah, I really wouldn't recommend it.
How did you keep you and your sister afloat?
I was barely more than a kid myself, so lots of unskilled work, construction jobs. No one else would do the dangerous stuff, so I would, being up high, crawling under things. I could shoot a gun, so eventually I moved into smuggling. Even more dangerous, but lucrative. We were never rich, but we got to comfortable.
Where was home? Palaven?
No, we'd already left Palaven by then. Whatever our dad was involved in meant we weren't welcome there. I hadn't even gone to boot camp yet. Sid was barely a year old. We eventually settled in a mining colony in the Minos wasteland. 2 years later, our dad was gone.
Wonder if it was on the planet we rescued Jacob from in Mass Effect 3.
Where was
It
your
was a
mother
mining
in all
colony.
Back on Palaven, I suppose. She was an awful person. All she cared about was climbing the ranks. She and my dad fought all the time. I think at the end they hated each other. When things were really tough, I thought about going back. But she wouldn't have accepted us. Whatever my dad did destroyed any chance of that.
this? You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Pock. You're gonna be the gateway to so many great things, my friend.
Hey there. You named her Pac?
Yep. Proof of concept. To distinguish her from Zap, your souped-up, nasty combat version.
Zap. I like it.
Yeah, it's edgy. The storage box from the vault on Eos was the key to everything, including integrating that piece of REM tech you got me. But our new observer friends are just the beginning. I'm working on something even bigger.
Sure, why stop and smell the roses? Getting remnant technology to work is so...
Guess an architect.
I'm not one to rest on my laurels. So get this. We can only scan for remnant signatures we've already encountered. My scanner's doing that around the clock. But if I integrate the right REM tech, we could scour the cluster for any remnant signature, even ones we don't have. My scanner would literally become a remnant mystery detector.
Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Well, don't tell Lexi. She'll look for a cure. I came to Andromeda to touch the unknown, to find the never-before-found. Once I perfect this scanner, it'll do exactly that. All I need is 3 specific pieces of REM tech.
We can do that.
You rock. Pock and Zap think so too. So far, I've located the first piece. It's back on Eos. I'll upload the coordinates.
Okay, so we've got her loyalty mission
You have
effect now.
VP outstanding, Pathfinder.
Sounded like it looked like the. Well, we got that from those logs that said the Archon might be not be following orders anymore, but it seems like that was his superior. That one guy. He wants to try to beat me at poker again, huh? I'm gonna cheat again, too. We've got something in common with Shepard now, though. You know that? Both died. Both killed indirectly by an AI as well.
Ryder, might I borrow your research room access?
What for?
Nothing much. Just hoping to research something in my spare time. Oh, would you care to help?
I'll help if I can.
Suvi, could you take the helm for a little while? It's preliminary, but all that data we've gathered on the Scourge should be good for something.
Is that our drive core?
I want to research new systems, sensors, shields, EMP defenses, to help any ship tackle the Scourge. I'm using Lucille's old blueprints as a baseline. I can read them from memory, but if you and Sam can help, I'd really appreciate it.
I'm no starship expert, but Sam and I can pitch in, sure. Though if you want someone who really knows ships, there's always...
Gil. I know. We barely speak these days. I thought it was best. And yet, Gil's redesigns are what got me thinking. Funny. Most Solarians leap at innovation.
Who knows? A pushy mammal who forgets stuff might be the perspective you need.
We forget all our technology didn't just appear. Someone invented it. Someone cared. That matters. But so does inventing new things to care about. New memories. Gil, then. Any advice on how to ask him?
A little honesty and humility will go a long way.
Gil, may I get a moment of your time?
Well now, your precious ship is running just like you wanted.
I'm researching new systems to handle the Scourge. I could use your expert opinion, please.
Sticking to the old school?
I don't have to.
No sense reinventing the wheel. Though you'd need better secondaries in place. Here.
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
See if he's got anything new to say.
Your choice aboard the Solarian Ark was not an easy one. Your father approached such moral quandaries differently.
Dad was used to making snap life or death decisions.
I now know that colored his perceptions. Alec treated death as a problem to be solved. I have now encountered it several times. His death, and your own.
And what have you learned about dying from us?
The self is forged by experiences. Death is the only experience that ends the self before it's understood. So, is death completion? Or an expression cut short before it reaches its full solution, giving a different answer? I can see why it fascinates you.
Thanks, Sam. Nothing more.
Move your arm again?
Readings won't change, Doc.
Your prosthetics are syncing properly. Your neuropathy-induced pain levels are consistent.
Hey, I'm used to it. It's okay.
No, it's not okay. You keep fighting smart, you hear me? You don't have much left in terms of organ redundancies.
Nah, it's fine. I don't mind.
Everything okay? This looks like a lot.
It is a lot. Just nothing he didn't already know about.
What do you mean?
He's fine, just old and missing too many parts. And too stubborn for his own good.
You love me just the way I am, Doc.
Don't get off that table until the scan is done.
Can I ask what happened?
Arm, side, hip, part of my leg. Strain balancing threading across my spine. It's all prosthetics and implants.
That's a lot.
Made it through the Krogan rebellions. Watched my culture disintegrate. Survived centuries as a merc and all sorts of pirate shenanigans. 1,000 years of combat experience. All it took was one idiot with a pack of frag grenades.
Wow, he went unscathed through all that.
It must have been hard.
Yeah, it got pretty bad. I hit some dark moments. Implant rejection after implant rejection. Prosthetics not syncing properly. Everything hurt. A lot. All the time. No purpose to anything.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. I fell right into that pit. Almost. But then some shaman shows up, drops the tiniest little baby girl in my lap. This one's dying, he said. Not worth the trouble, he says. Useless is what he meant.
That's awful.
It's practical. Krogan gave me a purpose again. Wasn't just about me anymore, so I got help. Learned how to take care of myself, take care of her. And she took care of me.
You found a way to live again.
We sure did. Wasn't easy on either of us. I'm old, stuck in my ways, and Cash has wanted to change everything since she could talk. Raising Cash taught me an important lesson.
And you're going to tell me all about it, aren't you?
Damn right I am. Parents aren't meant to be a goal or a finish line. We're the starting line. Where you go from there, it's all you. Remember that.
Okay, so we're still buddies. He's not gonna beat me up over a command decision.
Yes?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Something keeps beeping. I don't know what it is. If it's a quest that is triggered wrong or something.
Got a minute? I could use a favor.
You only have to ask.
I kept thinking about Sarissa and my not being a Pathfinder. And the thinking turned into a project on Eos. Can you help me finish it?
What kind of project?
I'll put the nav points in the helm. Come along and I'll show you.
So we've got two things on Eos now.
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
I'm gonna save it a few times here, and then attempt to go back to the Nexus again. We'll see if I reload this save on the next video and this is where I'm standing. You know the crash problem still happened.